Hi guys, my name is Laura Valenzuela. Thank you guys so much for watching today. If you guys are new here, thank you guys so much for tuning in and clicking on this video. If you guys have been here for a minute, thank you guys for subscribing. And if you guys aren't subscribed, please subscribe if you aren't already. In today's video, I am going to be doing a Jeffree Star. If you guys already seen it in the title, I ordered my Jeffree x Morphe palette, so I am going to be doing like a mini kind of just try on type of review on it. I'm so excited. I love all of the colors in here. I just wanted to show you guys how the box came before I take it all out. It did come bubble wrapped, and this is how it came. It was bubble wrap. My daughters got to the bubble wrap and started playing with it, and then that's all that came in the box because that's all I ordered. This is how the box does look. I know you guys have seen it everywhere. It's the Morphe x Jeffree Star palette. This is how the palette looks. It comes in a pink box and it has Jeffree Star's picture on the back, also with a cute little message on the back that he wrote. And the sides do say Jeffree Star x Morphe on them. It's really cute. It's very, very much his aesthetic. And it does come like this. It is bubble wrapped, you guys, so it is secure. I did unbox it yesterday because I did get this yesterday just to look at the colors and everything, because of course I couldn't help myself but just open it up. But I will open it up here on camera with you guys. So this is how it comes. It basically shows the same thing that it did on the box, except for the back is blank. And then for the inside, you guys, it does have a large mirror inside. But I will show you guys how the colors look. I know these are gorgeous. It has a bunch of pinks, greens, neutrals. This is a very, very wearable palette, which I love. I did want to start playing around with more color, so I really, really was interested in the greens in this palette and the pinks. Of course, I've had pink eye looks before, not really green so much, but I was so excited to get this. It's very, very beautiful. It's very sturdy, and you can always put the mirror back. So I do like the fact that it does have the large mirror inside. And this does come with 35 shades. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and try it out with you guys. Okay, you guys, so I zoomed you guys in really nice and tight to my face. As you guys can tell, I'm having some breakout issues right now. It's my lady time. Oh well, what are you going to do? So in this video, as you guys can tell, I'm doing a look on the Morphe x Jeffree Star palette. So I did want to go ahead and try this out. I did try and film a little clip for you guys before on doing a look with this palette using the greens, and honestly, I like fucked that up so bad. I thought I was gonna do a double cut crease, but it was my first attempt to do one and it didn't come out the way I wanted it to. So I just scratched that up, and I'm just gonna go ahead and use the pinks today because I really want to attempt to do that double cut crease with you guys. But I'm gonna try and practice a little bit more before I get comfortable to film like doing one. So I am gonna go into this palette, and so far I love the colors. Like, the colors are amazing. I didn't have any trouble with any of the shades. As you guys can tell, I did dip into these shades down at the bottom. They were all gorgeous. They all worked amazing. So let's go ahead and use the pinks. I do want to go into this area right here. You guys know I love pinks. Like, it's like one of my favorite colors to use. They're just so pretty, and so I did want to go ahead and create something with the pinks. So I am going to go ahead and go in with my Morphe M514 brush, and with this brush I'm going to go ahead and take it into the shade, let's see, first of all, I love that all of the shades in here have the names on the palette. That's something that's like I love. I wish Morphe did that with all of their palettes and just put it all on the palette, as well as the mirror. The mirror is super huge, as you guys can tell. It's a really big mirror. I love that. But yeah, let's go ahead and go into this palette. I am gonna go in with the shade Back, which is the second shade in the palette on the top row. I'm gonna go ahead and go into that shade first, and I'm just gonna take that on a clean M514 brush. And this is a really, really nice soft pink, if you guys can see that right there. I'm just going to go ahead and start putting that in the crease. And as you guys can tell, this is very, very vibrant already off the bat. It's nice and vibrant. So all of these shades are very pigmented. There are 30 shades in this palette. It does retail for $35, but if you use Jeffree Star's code, you do get it for, I believe, $31. So I'm just going to go ahead and go back and forth with the shade and kind of just put it to where the pigment I'm comfortable with, and I'm just going to try and build that up to look a little like something that I'm comfortable with. So I'm just going to go ahead and build this color up in the crease really quick. As you guys can tell, it is very pigmented. Okay, you guys, as you guys can tell, that color showed up really, really good. It is the shade back in the palette. And the next shade I do want to go into is going to be this pink shade right here in the palette. And it's in the shade Self-Made, which is cute. I love all of the names that he has in this palette. For this shade, I am going to be going in with a different brush though, just because I want a nice, precise, clean look. So I'm going to be going into the Morphe M433 brush. And that's the shade Self-Made in the palette. And as you guys can tell, that is very, very pigmented. So I'm going to go ahead and work this into the inner crease of my eye. Ooh, that's crazy. It does have some fallout, but then again, I didn't tap my brush off like I should have. That color though, it has so much pigment. I love Morphe palettes. I know not a lot of people like them, but I love them. So far, I know I'm going to really like this palette. I love Jeffree Star. I don't own anything that he has. So I was really excited that he came out with the Morphe collab. Okay, you guys, so as you guys can see, that color blended out really good. They're both blending really well together, and they're both very, very pigmented, so I love that. The next shade I'm going to go into, and I am using all clean... Okay, and I am using all clean brushes, just so you guys can see that they're, you know, that everything's working well together. I did just wash my brushes. So I'm going to be going into... I'm going to be going in with the Morphe M562, which is a smaller detail brush. I don't know if my camera's picking it up right there for you guys, but it's more of a tapered, more dense brush. So I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to go into the shade Pink Fleet right here in the palette, and that's in the shade Pink Fleet. Sorry, I think I was playing. So I'm going to go into the shade Pink Fleet in the palette. And this is like a fuchsia purple color. I know it kind of looked a little bit washed out on the camera, but I'll go ahead and show you guys in a little bit. So this is how that color looks. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with Pink Fleet in the palette. And I'm just going to go a little bit lower than I took that second shade and kind of work that into the crease as much as I can, just to add a little bit more of definition to this crease. I'm going to go ahead and go back in with the M433 brush and take that second shade Self-Made and just kind of buff this color out a little bit. I don't want to lose that pink color that we had in the background, and I just want everything to kind of mesh together. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go back in with the small brush and go into the shade Mogul in the palette, and that's going to be this shade up here. and it's a little bit darker than the last colors that we used. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the shade right here in the palette. I'm going to go ahead and go into the shade right here in the palette, and it's in the shade Mogul. And I'm just going to work that on the outer crease a little bit. With this shade, I'm not going to take it any further because I am using it just to kind of intensify that outer crease area. And just deepen it up a little bit. As you guys can see, I'm trying to deepen up that outer crease just a little bit. Okay, you guys, so now I'm going to go ahead and go in with this black shade in the palette, and it is in the shade Fast Lane, and it's supposed to be like really, really deep, so I do want to take it lightly on this mini angled 131 Luxie brush. So I'm going to take just a little bit because it's better to add a little bit at a time than to go in with a lot because it's going to be harder to blend out. So I'm just going to take that on the outer crease area. And I'm just going to blend it in just a little bit. Now I'm just working in a little bit of the shade Pink Fleet and Self-Made in, just so I can blend those colors out and I don't lose it, and I kind of can just blend the black out so it looks nice and precise and not so just stamped on there. So with this, you definitely have to go back and forth if you want to get a certain look, especially with blacks. You have to know how to blend them out. Okay, you guys, so I went ahead and cut my crease off camera just to save a little bit of time, and also I've done that in previous videos before. If you guys want to see how I cut my crease, you can look back to other videos I've done. I'm sure I always show it in at least 2 or 3 of those videos. So I'm going to go back into the palette, and I do want to use as many shimmers as I can. As you guys can tell, it does have a lot of pickup, but like I said, it was nothing that I mind, especially just with the colorful ones. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll start off with, I really like this color right here. It's called 2 in the palette, and it's this like pink shimmer shade that it has. So I'm going to start with doing that one on the inner crease, and then I'll probably do Designer Label, and then let's see, and then Don't Know Her on the outer crease. I'm sorry, I'm just looking to see what shades I want to use, and I want to do like kind of a gradient effect of shimmers. So I'm going to start off with the shade 2 that I showed you guys, and I'm going to take it on this brush right here, and it's a flat shader brush, and this is from Bodyography Pro. I'm not sure. I think I got it either in my Ipsy, yeah, probably an Ipsy bag. So I'm going to go ahead and take this on the flat shader brush, and I'll start stamping it on my inner corner, and if I need a setting spray, I'll do that, but for now I want to see how it performs by itself. So I'm going to take this brush right here with the shade 2 on it, and I'm just going to go ahead and start taking that on the inner corner of my eye. And I do not need any setting spray at all. If you guys can see, it's very, very vibrant. It's so pretty, you guys. So I'm just going to take it in that far on both eyes. I'm sorry if I'm reaching that way. My eyeshadow palette's down there, and I have my mirror right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. So there's that color 2 in the palette. And now I'm going to go ahead and go in with the shade Welcome right here, and it's going to be that first shade. So as you guys can see, the shade 2 was a little bit more pinky toned in the palette, and then this one's a little bit more silver, which I like. So I'm going to go ahead and add that one into the second part of my eye, and I'm going to do that with the other side of the brush. And as you guys can tell, that's very vibrant as well. I don't need any setting spray for this. It lays down super nice and flat on the eye. And I'm just kind of meshing those two shades together. Now the last shade I'm going to go in with, because I want to do the outer part of the cut crease area before it hits the black. So I'm going to go ahead and go into this shade right here in the palette. And that is in the shade Don't Know Her. And I'm just going to go ahead and take one of those sides of the brush as well. And I'm going to apply that to this part of the eye, which is going to be like the inner third of the eye. And I'm just going to start meshing those colors together, and I'm going to go back in on the other side with that silver shade in the name Welcome, just to kind of mesh them together. And I like to do this because it gives it more of a 3D effect to the glitter than it would if you just applied one single glitter shade on top. I'm going to take a clean brush and just kind of wipe away whatever glitter is sticking to the top right here. I'm going to go back in with this brush right here and go back into the black a little bit. I'm just taking a tiny bit on there just to kind of work that back into the outer crease area. And as you guys can see, I'm being very messy because I am going to go ahead and clean that up in a little bit here. Okay, you guys, so now what I'm going to do is go ahead and clean up my under eye area, and then I'll be right back with you guys, and we'll go ahead and add some lashes and liner and continue on with the rest of our makeup. Okay, you guys, so I went ahead and cleaned up my under eyes a little bit. This is what we're working with. So I'm going to go ahead and use my N.Y.X eyeliner. This is the matte vinyl eyeliner, and this is one of my favorite eyeliners to use at the moment. I am running a little bit low on here, so I'm just going to go ahead and create that wing, and then add some lashes just to give this look a little bit more put together. So yeah, you guys, this is one of my favorites just because it has like such a cool brush tip. It reminds me so much of the N.Y.X liner. That was my all-time favorite, and of course they discontinued it. So this is the next best thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my wing, and I'm gonna fast pace it for you guys a little bit just because it takes me quite a minute to create a wing. Okay, so I got my wing going. They're not perfect, but they're the best that they're gonna get right now. So I did want to go ahead and add a pair of lashes on, and I just wanted to share this with you guys. I did order this off of Amazon. This is by the brand Magefy. It's M-A-G-E-F-Y. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it is so cute. Okay, so this is the case. This retails for $25 on Amazon. I'll try and link it down below if I can. I'm gonna see if my husband knows how to like do the linking for different stuff down below. But it does come in a case. These are all lashes. I believe it comes with 30 lashes, and it has 5 different styles of lashes, which is awesome. For $25, you really can't beat that. I shop on Amazon for everything, and this is such a good find, you guys. I am putting you guys on with this, and I hope it doesn't sell out so I can reorder another one. But this is, as of now, I think I checked it yesterday, they still have this on there. So let me see if I can put it up without it all falling out. So you guys, it has 5 different styles of lashes. I have used about 4 or 5 different pairs already. I have them all in here, but they do come in this little cute travel bag that you can keep after you use all of the lashes. But it's good if you're trying to do makeup on other people, just to have different styles and stuff. So I thought this was pretty awesome. Let me go ahead and show you guys the styles it does have. So it has the style 3D 110, and this is how that one looks right there. I'm hoping that the camera is picking it up. And these are nice and wispy. It also has the style, let me see what other ones it has. It has the style 3D 119 right here. And they are all a little different from each other. So that's the second style, either 4 or 5 styles. I know it has different ones, let me see. And then it does have, which ones have I done? Okay, so it does have 3D 129, which I think these ones are my favorites because they're nice and fluffy. They're super wispy. They're very dramatic, as you guys can see. So it has 5 of each pair, I believe. The next shade or style is 3D 105, and these are a little bit more wispy, kind of more natural ones. As you guys can tell, they're all a little different, and they give you a different shape for every, they're good for different looks that you want to create. And then I have 3D 114, which are these right here, and these are a little bit more wispy. These are natural as well. And then it has, the last pair is 3D 105. I think I showed you guys all 5 pairs. I'll check it out right now. But if you guys can see, these ones are very, very pretty as well. So these are 3D 105, 3D 114s I showed you guys, 3D 110, 3D, oh, I think I showed you 3D 105 twice. Let me see, 3D 119. And 3D 129. So these are 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the 5 different styles of lashes that they do have. So if you guys want to jump on it, I'll show you guys the, and there are the more dramatic ones. So I'm going to go ahead and take these really quick. If you guys do want to pick these up and are interested in them, I will try and leave a link down below if I can. If not, they are on Amazon and they're under the name Magfie or Magafee. I'm not sure. This is the brand, but it comes in this cute little pink case with brown lining on the side, and it's very sturdy. It's very cute. So I did carry this with me on my trip here just because why not? I mean, I had different options. So I am going to go ahead and put some glue on these and put them on really quick so you guys can see. Okay, you guys, so I am going to be using the Kiss Lash Adhesive. This is one of my favorite glues. If you guys want to see some of my favorite products, let me know in the comments down below and I can show you guys a bunch of things that I've been loving. A lot of the products that I have bought in my hauls and stuff, I can give you guys updates on what worked, what didn't work. If you guys want to see that, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. I would not mind filming that for you guys. I mean, so you guys can see what I did like and what I don't recommend. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this lash glue on the lash strip really quick. I did go ahead and cut off the inner and outer corners of them just because if not, it's going to pick you in the eye. So you always want to cut from the outside. I cut the inner corner, not the lash itself, but the little area that kind of sticks out. So don't go ahead and cut the inner corner like from the lashes. This one just had a little bit of kind of the lining of the lash sticking out, so that's what I did cut off. So I'm just adding a little bit of adhesive to this. And you guys are going to see how pretty and how dramatic these are. For $25 for 30 pairs, I mean, you're basically paying less than $1 a pair. So as those dry, I am going to go ahead and start priming my face. And I'm just going to be using this NoPoreBlem primer. You guys, that's a mouthful. I'm going to be using this. This has been one of my favorites for a while. As you guys can see, it is running out, but I do like to use my stuff as much as I can, so I know that I'm using it at least, and it's not just sitting in my drawer. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my face like that. And then my hands are clean, so I'm just going to rub it together and kind of place that on my face. I really love this primer because it leaves your skin feeling super nice and soft. I love it. It's amazing. It works really well, and I haven't had any problems with it. Like I said, I'm almost done with it because I love it that much. And I have so many other primers to use, but I like that one a ton. That's kind of like my go-to everyday primer. Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna get one of my lash applicators if I could find it. I'm just going to go ahead and use these ones. These are ones that I got from the dollar store, I think, in like a kit. I don't know what they're for, honestly, but they're good for applying lashes as well. So I'm just going to clean off whatever excess glue I have on them just so the lash doesn't stick to it. Okay. So I have them set right here just so they're not going anywhere. So you just want to allow your lashes at least 30 to 45 seconds to kind of get a little bit tacky. You don't want to place them on wet right away because it's just going to cause them to move around, and it's going to be very hard for you to actually apply the lashes, and it's going to wiggle around and cause there to be glue everywhere, and you don't want that because obviously it's going to mess up your eye look. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with the first lashes that I put glue on, or the first lash. So because this one looks like it's drying pretty fast. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to put on mascara. Hold on. So, of course, you're going to want to put on mascara before you apply these. I always put it on before I put on lashes. So, I'm just going to go ahead and apply some mascara. And I'm going to apply a little bit more lash adhesive to that because it was drying down pretty fast, which is my fault. I totally forgot. I'm over here putting on primer when I could have been putting on mascara. Okay. So, I just put a little bit on there just so it doesn't dry completely. And then it's a waste of it. So I'm just going to add a little bit of mascara. And this mascara, I don't really buy expensive mascaras. If I get them in my BoxyCharm or my Ipsy bags, then I use them. But for the most part, I don't like to buy expensive ones because I'm always using false lashes. So there's never a need to like wear my lashes just with mascara. But the one I do like to use when I'm not wearing false lashes is this one right here, which is the Maybelline the Falsies Push Up Drama. This is one of my favorites. So I do like to use this for days that I'm not using any lashes. I'm also going to apply some black liner on the top lash line just to kind of mesh those lashes together with the my real lashes and stuff. I hate how it looks when people don't put it on underneath. I've also forgotten myself to put on black eyeliner on the inner lid, and it looks really bad. I always hate it when I forget. So I'm going to go ahead and use this to kind of just line the inner top lash line. Okay guys, so now I'm going to go ahead and go in with the lashes. I'm going to take these lashes really quick, and then I'm just going to apply it to my top of my lid. As you guys can see, that was super easy. So now all I'm going to do is go ahead and move it around and wiggle it around to place it where I need it to go, where it doesn't feel uncomfortable. As you guys can see, that was super easy. These are so dramatic. I'm going to go ahead and use my eyeliner to kind of go over it so you don't see any of the glue. My eyes did get a little bit watery, but because I was like in there with those tweezers, I am going to take a little bit of the liner just to kind of coat it over. Okay, you guys, so now I'm going to go in with my foundation. The foundation that I have to use today is the Maybelline Superstay Foundation. This is up to 24 hours foundation. It is in the shade Sand Beige. You guys, this is my first time using it, so I wanted to use it on camera with you guys to kind of test it out and see how it works. I got mine in the shade 127 Sand Beige. It says it is full coverage foundation up to 24 hours, seamless matte finish, breathable and comfortable fade and transfer resistant, oil free, doesn't clog pores, dermatologist tested, and those are the claims for this. So we'll see how it goes. I got the shade that closest matches me. It does cover up all of my freckles. I don't like my freckles, so I do like to get full coverage foundations. So let's see how this works, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and take my beauty blender. Actually, I'm gonna wet it really quick and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and take the foundation and pump 2 pumps on the back of my hand. So as you guys can tell, I haven't used this. This is brand new to me. I hope I like it. I did want to go and try more drugstore foundations. I don't have too many, but I do have a lot that I like. If you guys want to see my favorite foundations from the drugstore, I can go ahead and do that for you guys as well. Just let me know in the comments down below. So I am going to take my beauty blender, and it's damp. So I'm going to take a little bit of that on the back of the sponge and just dab it all over my face. So I'm going to take about another half of a pump on the back of my hand. And I'm going to use that for the rest of my face, and just to make it a little bit more full coverage. It is very full coverage, but I feel like the pumps are pretty small, and I would say about 2 pumps on each side of your face is good, just to make it full coverage. But as you guys can tell, it does cover up a lot of my freckles and a lot of my like acne marks that I have, which is good because I hate when I get those. So when a foundation can actually cover it up, it's like, it's sold for me. Like, I'll keep repurchasing it, especially if it wears nicely throughout the day. And you always want to make sure to take the foundation down your neck and by your ears, because if not, people are going to tell that it's obviously a different color. You always want to make sure you blend it into your skin nice and good, because like I said, people can tell that it's not blended. It'll just leave like a line or a line right here by your chin, and you don't want that. I've done that before. Okay, you guys, so that is like basically 2 pumps on my face. The pumps are pretty small, like I said, so for me that's like 2 pumps. I could have done 1 more pump just to kind of make it a little bit more full coverage. So I would say this is medium to full coverage depending on how much you use. Let me go ahead and zoom you guys in so you guys. Okay, you guys, so this is how the foundation left my skin. Okay, you guys, so that's how the foundation looks with, I would say, about 2 pumps of this. I actually like it. I'm going to go in with concealer anyway, so I don't mind. I like the coverage. I think it covers pretty fully. As you guys can see, I still have some of my freckles showing through. It is kind of like a matte base, which is fine. I like that because I like to go in with my own glow. But as you guys can see, it does cover up a lot, but I do have a lot of freckles, so some of them are still showing through. So now I'm going to go ahead and let me zoom you guys back out a little bit because I don't think you guys want to be this close to my face. So now I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind corrector. This is one of my favorite drugstore concealers, you guys. It is my top favorite. If I don't have my, let's see, if I don't have my Too Faced one, my Born This Way concealer, I always go in with this one. This is one of my favorites, like I said. If you guys haven't tried it, you guys should try it. I'm sure everybody knows about it, but it is one of my top favorites from the drugstore. And I feel like it has really, really good coverage. All I do is wind it up, and then I'm just going to go ahead and apply it from there. Okay, so that is a ton of concealer. Okay, so I went in with a ton of concealer, so let me go ahead and blend that out. Okay, you guys, so I did go in really heavy with the concealer, but when I'm doing a dramatic look like this, I want everything to be dramatic. So I have an itch right here, so let me get that first. Okay, so like I said, when I'm doing a dramatic eye like this, I like to go really heavy with a face. So I am going to be going into one of my favorite products lately. Like I said, I will do a favorites video if you guys want to see that. But I've been using this a lot, you guys. It is the Huda Beauty Cream Contour in the shade Light. And this is the Tantour Contour Bronzer Cream. And like I said, this is the shade Light. And this is what I've been using to cream contour. I do like my Soleil Tan de Chanel cream contour, but I'm running very, very low on it. So I have been using the Huda Beauty one. I really like them both. I like this one, I would say, a lot more. Like I said, I'm running really low, so I have to pick up another one. It does have like all those edges. It did last me such a long time. I think I've had it for over a year and a half now. And it's one of my favorites to use in the summertime. So this is the Chanel one. So I am going to be using this one today because this is the one I've been using for a while now. And as you guys can tell, I've dug into it and it does last. So I only get a little bit of this, you guys. I'm going to go in with my Morphe E30 brush. And this is very good for cream. I am going to use it to go in there a little bit. And then I'm just going to start putting some of this right here. And I'm going to start with this side of my face. If you guys can tell, all I do is kind of create contour lines right here just to kind of deepen it up. Honestly, if I wanted to, I can blend it out with this brush and it'll look so airbrushed. So I'm going to use this brush right here. It is a crown brush and I'm sure I got it in my BoxyCharm or something. So I'm just going to use this brush to kind of blend that out a little bit. And if you guys can see, it blends out so nicely. Very, very nice. Even though it's dark like this, you guys don't be intimidated with cream contour. It blends out really nice and you can always go back in and fix it. So I want to start with this side of my face, you guys. I like to start with one side at a time just so it doesn't dry down. Because I have done it the other way and it kind of dries down a little bit fast, I will say that. So you have to work very, very fast with this product because it does set. So if you guys can see, it created a nice contour. I do go over it with the powder bronzer, but for now, I just put this on and just blend it out. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. And you guys, I do it very messily. It's not something that I do too precise because I do go over it with a brush. It's very, very forgiving. So if you guys mess up, you guys can always go in with some more concealer just to kind of clean it up. And then I go back in with my sponge and just kind of, with whatever excess concealer I have on there, I kind of clean it up because I do get a little bit messy with this. I'm going to go ahead and take this one because there's still some on there. I'm going to go back in with whatever excess I have of concealer, and I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. Like I said, it's very, very forgiving, so if you guys just do it the way I'm showing you, you should be fine. It's very, very easy to use. And this is for days that I want to be like really dramatic with my makeup, and then I kind of just go over it just to kind of cover. Like I said, it's just to create a nice definition underneath of what's going to go on top. Just to take it a little further, I did go ahead and cut the contour with a little bit of concealer. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to blend it out with my sponge. So you have a nice, good definition right there. And it's very, very dramatic. Like I said, if you don't want something this dramatic, you don't have to take all of these steps. I'm just doing something dramatic because I want it to kind of coincide with my eye makeup today. And if my hair can cooperate and not get in my face, that would be great too. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Fenty powder and go ahead and set my face. I'm going to go ahead and go in with my sponge as well, just to make sure I don't have any creases because I haven't set my eyes yet. Okay guys, so I went ahead and set my face. I don't want to bake too much because I do have really dry skin, and I've noticed when I bake a lot, it just looks really creasy and very, very crusty underneath my eyes. So I try and just lightly go over it with powder, and then I go ahead and I take a brush. So let me see if I can find a good one. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with this brush right here, and I go into the cap and I just lightly dust it underneath my eyes. I don't like to bake too much anymore. Some days I will, it just depends, but for today I think we're good with just a little bit of powder. And as you guys can tell, I set my face and that contour is still there. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and set the bronzer with bronzer. Or set the contour with bronzer. So these have been some of my favorite bronzers so far to use. So if it's not this one, I use this one. I have been hitting pan with this one because it's one of my favorites to use. If you guys can tell, I'm already hitting pan on this because I love using it. So I'm just going to go ahead and go in with, I'm going to do the Kylie one. This is in the shade Tequila Tan. So these are some of my favorites. As you can tell, it does get use out of it. And I'm going to take this with my favorite brush, which is the Kat Von D Shade and Light brush. So I'm going to go ahead and go into it with the angled side of the brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and go over those areas that I cream contoured with. Okay guys, so now I'm going to go ahead and go in with blush. Let me get it off of my desk. I have so much going on right here. As you guys know, I recently moved. If you don't know, I recently moved to New York from Texas. My husband is military, so we did PCS to Fort Drum, New York. And so I've just been setting up my beauty room and everything, so I haven't been on here in a minute, and I know I always come up with that excuse, so I didn't want to say that, but oh well. I did get here, so hopefully I do start being a little bit more consistent with you guys. I'm going to try my best to be, but I am going to start working again too, so we'll see how it goes. I really love doing these videos for you guys though, so if you guys do like them and you guys do support me with them, please go ahead and leave me comments, or just let me know on videos that you guys would like to see from me. Subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and like the button as click the like button as well if you guys do like the videos that I'm sharing. If you guys have any input, you guys can put it in the comments down below as well. But let's go ahead and keep going. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my favorite palette. As you guys can tell, this is such a go-to palette for me. I have so many blushes, but this has still been like something that I continue to go to. So I'm going to go into this shade right here, and this is the Rockatour blush. So I'm going to mix a little bit of Dallas and Rockatour together and use that as a blush. And I'm going to go in with this brush right here because this is what I've been using for it. Those are like my favorite go-to colors for when I'm doing a look. They're just easy go-to colors for me. They're not, they kind of go with everything, so that's why I love this palette so much. I'm definitely going to repurchase one if I can, if they still have this one. I know they came out with a ton more, so I'll check those out too, but I really, really like this. I recommend it. I've had this for quite a while now. I know I've had it for over 3 years. I don't know if that's bad, but it still smells really good. It doesn't smell like it's like bad or anything. So as you can tell, this is such a cute soft blush color. That's why I love it. I think it goes with anything and every look. Cool tone, warm tone looks, it just doesn't matter. I feel like it looks really, really good with a lot of different looks. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and work on my under eyes before I go ahead and set everything or anything like that. So I'm going to get my palette one more time, and we're going to do the lower lashes. I think I'm going to work with the bottom row right here because I really want to try out these greens on the lower lash line. So I think I'm going to first start with this one right here, and it's What's the Tea, just to kind of create that as a base, and then go into Wake and Bake and Nate. So we'll see. I did want to do kind of a I did want to go in very dramatic with this look, so I think I am going to go ahead and go in with What's the Tea first. And I'm going to use this, let's see, with this brush right here, and I'm going to go into What's the Tea, which is that brown shade in the palette. And I'm going to use that for my lower lash line. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in with this brush right here. It's a nice round, mini round brush by Lexi. It's the 141 round brush. And I'm going to go into the shade right here in the palette, and it's the shade Wake and Bake. So I'm taking Wake and Bake, and I'm just going to run that on the lower lash line a little bit. Okay, so that's how that looks. And now I'm going to go ahead and go in with, let me see. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take this brush right here. It's an Alamar Cosmetics brush, and it's a flat shader brush kind of. It doesn't have a name on it. I'm sure it did, and it probably wore off by now. But this is an Alamar Cosmetics brush, and I'm going to go ahead and go into this green right here in the palette, and it is in the shade Nate. So I'm going to take a little bit of that and kind of just stamp it on the lower lash line. Okay, you guys, so now what I'm going to do is apply a little bit of this ink liner on the inner part, inner lower lash line. I'm going to go into the palette, and I'm going to go ahead and go into the shade Fast Lane, which is that black in the palette. And I'm just going to take this and apply it on top of that lash, on top of the black that's in the waterline, because that is a gel liner. And I find that applying an eyeshadow on top of it kind of sets it and it doesn't move out of place. So if you guys want, that's like a tip that you guys, or a trick that you guys can use. That's what I do, and it doesn't bug my eyes at all. But if it's something that your eyes are sensitive, then of course don't do it. The next thing that I wanted to do was take a little bit of mascara, and I'm going to go ahead and go back in with the Falsies Push Up Drama Mascara by Maybelline. Like I said, this is one of my favorites. The next thing I want to do is go ahead and go in with my Ofra Rodeo, or I'm sorry, the Ofra Beverly Hills highlight. The Rodeo Drive is the other one. This is one of my favorites as well. I have both of them. This one's in Rodeo Drive, and as you guys can tell, it is one of my favorites because I've obviously hit pan on it, and I have a ton of highlights, so for me to hit pan is a big deal. This is another one of my favorites, you guys, but I kind of just swirl it around and use this one. But for now, I am going to use these two shades in here. Maybe a little bit of these two as well, and kind of mix them around to create kind of like a pinky highlight. So just to kind of go with this look. Normally I wouldn't do that, but I kind of just stay in the lines. But for now, I am going to go ahead and kind of get into a little bit of all four of those colors. And I'm going to take a little bit of that and just kind of start highlighting. And as you guys can tell, that created kind of a pink shift highlight, which I like because it does go with this look. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit more. And at the moment, I don't own any of Jeffree Star's highlights, so I wish I did. I think I'm going to order some soon because I really want to try out his brand. And I don't have anything from him except for this that he kind of collaborated with Morphe with. But I do want to get a few more of his actual stuff from his brand. So I might do that in the future. I'm going to go ahead and just do the chin a little bit and my nose. Okay, so that's a lot of highlight. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and go in with this lip liner, and it's called I'm Precious, and it is from the brand Real Her. This is something that I got in my BoxyCharm. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with this. It's a little bit more of a pinky lip liner. After I already applied the lip liner, like I said, I normally don't go for pinks. I typically just do nudes and I stick with what I like and what I know. But for this look, I did want to go a little bit extra, so I am going to go in with the Milani in the shade Pretty 39. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the Cover FX in the shade Amethyst, and I'm just going to apply a little bit to the back of my hand because I feel like it needs a little bit more of a pop to this look. And you definitely don't have to do this, but like I said, I'm trying to go all out with this look. I mean, it is the Jeffree Star palette. So I'm going to take this crown brush right here, and I'm going to dip into that shade Amethyst. It is a liquid shadow, and I'm just going to apply that to the inner corners of my eyes. And I'm going to go back into the palette, and now I'm going to take the shade, let's see, I'm going to go in with this brush right here, and I'm going to take the shade Designer Label in the palette, and I'm just going to take that on the brow bone just to create a little bit of a highlight.